Oh, and
We're
we're live now.
live!
Yay! We just
Wait,
had to click that button.
Vlad, do you see us? He said he doesn't see us.
Really?
Wait, no, live. Oh, he sees it. There's 4 people. Hello.
Nice. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
As you can see, this is our first time.
This is our first time. Yeah. So if we mess up, excuse us.
We're gonna mess up, but yeah, welcome to our podcast. Hello, hello. This is Go Slowly Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Karen.
And I'm Jasmine.
Okay, and I have a little spiel about our podcast. So here we're going to try to explore the world of mindfulness and slow living while navigating our 20s.
Yes. So thanks to everyone who is tuning in right now. Our 2 viewers, thank you so much for being and watching our YouTube live. We really appreciate your support. And so let's introduce ourselves. So, Karen, what do you do? Who are you?
What do I do? What am I? I don't know. So I am from the Philippines and LA. I went back and forth, and now I'm based in Midwest, Minnesota. I am. Oh, hi, Ali Davis. Sorry, I got distracted. I am currently a product analyst at a medical device company during the day, but my passions are on content creations, photography, videography, and I guess now podcasting.
She's a creative.
We are creatives.
Yes.
What about you, Jasmine? Who are you?
So I'm Jasmine and I live in Dallas right now, but I grew up in Vegas, and I am a sustainable personal wardrobe stylist, and my husband and I also own a local photography studio that you can rent out in Dallas. So if you're ever in the Dallas area, please come rent out our studio. Or if you want to get styled by me, you can do that too.
Me,
Um,
please, me.
Yes. When Karen come visit me. But I also, like Karen, do YouTube, and now we are doing this podcast. So yay.
Yay! You've been trying to have a podcast. I think it's been how many years now, Jasmine?
I don't even know. Okay, so I think we tried like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We talked about this like when we were planning this podcast, and we're like, yeah, we're kind of glad that we didn't.
Didn't.
I don't think we were ready. I feel like we would have gotten canceled.
That's what I keep on saying. We're gonna get canceled, girl. Also, our whole podcast theme back then was so different than
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. It was gonna be called the Wholesome Podcast. Wholesome, like wholesome, you know.
Like, you'll hope, but I mean, still wholesome.
Yes, I hope that it's okay for this. Are we allowed to say ho?
Oh, sorry. Where's the cow moo?
Where's the cow? Also fun fact. So for our live, if any of us ever end up accidentally using quote unquote profane, inappropriate language, that is what we're gonna use to cover each other.
You guys can also help us, so just put in the chat moo. Catch us. Keep us accountable for this too.
Keep us in check, guys.
Yeah.
But how did we meet, Karen?
Oh, okay, yeah. That's actually a really fun story. So, fun fact, we're both is it like otakus? I don't really call myself otaku now, but I think back then we were more into anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we met at anime convention, and maybe some of you will know it's a really big one that's held in LA every year.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Anime Expo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we were in the front of house team, and so we got to do the really fun stuff. Basically, we got to watch all of like the panels and the new releases for like super famous animes like Attack on Titan. We got to watch the release of what's the name? My Hero Academia for like
Oh, that was so fun.
I like almost cried.
Oh my gosh. That was the most exciting one.
Or even like, you know, do you remember the panel for Sailor Moon? Like their voices, the voice actors?
Yes. It was really fun. We were volunteers. So like front of a house is where there's a bunch of these screenings, and so we were kind of like in a production team, and yeah, but we were able to go around and do our own stuff, which was what made it really fun. And me and Jasmine, as soon as we met each other, I think we click automatically.
Yeah, we really did. I felt bad because I was like, am I following Karen around too much? I felt so comfortable around her, and I felt like we were like glued to each other throughout the whole expo.
I remember too, because I feel like the moment that we became friends when I told you, yeah, you can bring your luggage to my room. So the Anime Expo I think provides you a stay. So I had a room with another person.
Yeah,
And I think Jasmine couldn't go in hers and she was lugging
yeah.
around this big luggage. And
That's me.
we were like going in the bus and you were like, I need to stop by. And I'm like, girl, are you okay? I was like, no, you can. And then I told her like, you can hang in my room. She was like, really?
An angel, a true angel. That's what she is.
I was like, she's suffering. I feel so bad.
She's taking care of the suffering child. Let me take care of her.
Your luggage was really big, girl.
I'm not surprised. So like even in college, I was always that girl that had like a giant no, not in college, like in middle school, any school. I always had like that giant backpack and I looked like a freaking turtle. And there was fun fact, one time in middle school, I was wearing my backpack one day and I fell on my back. And I was like, I think I fell in between like the car and the sidewalk.
Girl.
And I was stuck and someone needed to help me get up.
Wait. Okay, memory unlocked. That happened to me too in elementary. I remember because I fell and I had like, it's gone now, but I had a scar from that.
Oh my goodness.
And it was my backpack too. It was really hot. And I was like,
Twin flames.
okay, we're alike. Oh,
Yes, we're very alike. I think that's part of why we click so much. I think honestly, I really feel like even though Karen and I always click, we didn't really realize until like recently how alike our values were, because I feel like we had this like really deep conversation like a few weeks ago and we were just like, whoa. Like,
I actually can't hear you.
oh wait, really? What happened? Can you hear me? Karen?
Okay, so it's begun. We're having technical difficulties.
Wait, Vlad,
Is it my mic?
Can you hear us,
Can you
Vlad?
hear me?
I can hear
Okay,
you,
well, I
Karen.
can't hear you.
You can't. Vlad, can you hear me?
Oh wait, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
sorry guys. It's my mic.
Wait,
It's me.
Ali, can you hear us?
I hear you.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, they can hear us. It's me. I'm the problem, guys. Am I the problem? Yeah, it's me.
Oh no. It's okay. Reflection. Self-awareness. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, Emily, hi.
Hi. Okay, thank you so much for letting us know. Okay, cool. Wait, so what's the last thing you heard me say, Karen?
I don't remember.
Oh no. Hi.
I think I was trying to talk about my scar and then that's where it fell off.
Oh my god, now I'm trying to think about like what we were just talking about. Oh no.
Okay, let's go back to Anime Expo because that is where we met.
Yes.
And then after that, the event lasted for like just a few days, like 3-4 days, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, like 3 to 4 days, something like that.
Yeah, and then after that, we went our separate ways. I was in the Valley in LA, in California, and Jasmine went back to Vegas. But we stayed in contact.
Yes. We really did. How did we stay? Was it through Instagram? Is that what we used?
Yeah, I think it was mostly Instagram. Like we had Discord for everyone that was part of Anime Expo, but
I don't think
it was mostly Instagram, and we just like kept on chatting up. And like I remember throughout the years up till now, every time we call up each other, we're like both in the same phase in life.
This is like us. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys an example. It was me and Karen. That's like how we start our phone calls. It's like our just face is like super close to the phone and like, or we're like screaming. And then my husband is like, what are you guys doing?
My boyfriend was like, you guys are talking so much.
Yeah, like, I mean, Vlad jokes, but he's like, sometimes I feel like you and Karen are closer than you and me.
Well, duh. I know you longer.
Honestly, though, we haven't known each other longer than me and my husband.
It's been 5 years. We've been friends for 5 years.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
really crazy.
Yeah, but I feel like it went by so fast.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so one reason why our podcast is called Go Slowly. Now, our phase is all about, well, it's, I won't call it phase, but we're at a part of our lives where we're really more trying to be more mindful with our actions and just, trying to, I'm losing my words.
No, yeah, I agree, like, trying to live in the present moment.
Yes.
So back then, Karen and I were both really into sustainability. I mean, we still are, obviously, but I feel like that's what really got us into living a more, slow lifestyle. Because I feel like,
Hmm.
slow fashion, sustainability, and slow living kinda just goes all hand in hand. And yeah, I think it's really just for us now about practicing gratitude for the everyday because we get so easily caught up in life, like always having to do something, always
Hmm.
being so busy. But I think it just really helps, even just having this podcast in general, to remember, like, hey, like, let's slow down and
Yeah.
appreciate the current
Let's
moment.
take some time, drink our tea or coffee, and just really chat up about life. Yes, I have my tea here
My
too.
cold tea. What tea are you drinking, Karen?
It's chai tea.
Ah. Do you put milk in your chai tea when you make it?
So it's my first time trying this. I do like chai tea with milk, but I've been trying it with just the tea itself. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. Yes, mindfulness era, Ali.
Yes, mindfulness era. Yes, that is what we're calling it.
Yes.
Yes, girl, I see you.
Who is she? Who are we? No, literally, though, who are we?
Oh, also another fun fact, we actually were about to be roommates before, right,
Oh my
Jasmine?
god, that's right. I completely forgot about that. So, yeah, we were talking about it, and we're kinda glad that we didn't, because we probably would have, like, egged each other on to, like, I don't even notice eat out all the time. We'd be, like, broke and just, like, chubby from eating all the food.
Broken LA as content creators.
Oh no. Nothing wrong with like that. If you believe you can achieve, there's nothing wrong. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good, but you know how LA is right now. California is just like even everywhere, it's so expensive.
Yeah, it's just really expensive. And so Karen and I ended up somehow moving to the Midwest, both of us. Like
I
it really
know.
was not planned at all. I feel like for both of us, it was literally because of our significant others. But I think moving here has really changed for me personally, has like really changed
Mhm.
my mindset and opened my eyes. Like they're like because we're both from the West Coast. So I feel like when you're from the West Coast, like, you don't really know much about like the East Coast or the Midwest or the South and like what the culture there is like. And it really was kind of like a culture shock, but also in
Yeah.
terms of pricing, like even Vegas, it's like almost like California prices now.
Mhm.
And like living in the Midwest, it's so much more affordable.
Yeah, you get
It's
shook like
insane.
shook that. Oh my gosh, my rent is like this? Really?
Right? Like looking at apartments in like LA versus looking in apartments probably, like in Minnesota or in Texas, we're like, that ain't too bad.
Yeah, living my life out here and like the gas is nice. All my family in LA are like $6, $5, and it's like $4 here,
Yeah.
maybe max $5.
For us, it's like 3. I don't know. Vlad, I don't know. Oh, Vlad's not here. No, I'm gonna pretend Vlad's not here. It's like
That's a
3
really good.
it's like 370.
That's
Honestly,
really good.
yeah, when we moved here during COVID, it was literally like 198.
Girl,
I
same.
know.
It
I
was
know.
like 2 or below 2. The moment I saw that we were driving, I was like, double.
Is this real?
What?
Am I in the Matrix?
Gas can be that cheap? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was so shocked. Like I've never seen gas below $2 before in my life until like we literally drove to Texas. It was insane.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Honestly.
But
But
yeah, Vlad said $3.
oh, $3.
$3.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, we met in Anime Expo. We kept in touch, and I know you went to LA a few times too.
Yeah.
I remember that one time I just
Karen
Should
was
I share this story?
wait, are you talking about, like, when we went to go visit you on the beach and Karen was like or what are you talking about?
Oh no, that before that, that was when you
Are
and
you talking about
Vlad.
when I visited you with when I also visited my other friend?
Yes. When you tried to be okay, Vlad is saying something. Tell us about time when you tried to be sustainable and ended up failing miserably. Did you accidentally compose your shoe or something? What?
Did I compost my shoe?
Jasmine, what did you do?
Wait, did I? Okay, so yes, I think so. I think if like some shoes I think can be compostable as long as it's made of like compostable materials.
Okay.
If it's like real like like made of supernatural ones, like let's say leather, probably if
Mhm.
it's not mixed with like plastic or polyester or something like that.
Mhm.
But are you talking about the time, Vlad, that like my shoe broke in Mexico? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, I think I know this story too. You told me.
So I was wearing sandals. We were on our trip to Mexico, right? And then like my sandal literally just like
Bro.
like
Okay.
broke. It like broke in half. And then I was like, luckily I almost had to move there. Anyways, my sandal like luckily I had an extra pair, but it just broke, and I was like, just open mouth. What do I do?
So did you have to compose that one? Is that what
I
happened?
think I might have tried to. No, okay, no, I didn't know. I think he's mixing it up. So I didn't compost it, but I did try to save the top part of the shoe so I could like
Mm.
upcycle it for like another sandal or something. I thought
Mhm.
maybe I could sew it on. But then eventually, sometimes it's really hard for me, like when I get them and I'm like, it's just too hard. Like I can't.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to throw things away because I'm trying to be
Yeah.
sustainable. And then Vlad just like takes it from me and he's like, "No, just let it go, Jasmine. You need to let it go."
That might tie up with because I'm also like that, and I know growing up, my mom was like that, and I think a
Mhm.
lot of my relatives with, like being the whole Asian, you kind of tend to hoard of some stuff like plastics,
Yes.
um,
Plastic
plastic
containers.
bags, yeah, plastic utensils.
When you have like a freaking Cool Whip container and you open it and it's like mungo.
It's something else, yeah. Or
Yeah,
like I think a lot of people relate if you went to your grandma's place and you had those metal cookie
yeah,
containers and you open it to like sewing stuff.
yeah. It's like not cookies at all.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang.
But
Yeah.
like the good thing about those practices though is it really is sustainable and it fits us. Like so my whole sustainable journey was kind of tough. I did fail, ended up failing miserably a lot of
I
times.
think we all do.
Yeah, I remember buying so much sustainable things, thinking that, oh, this is the way.
I will buy all of this and transform into a sustainable super person.
Super person. I'm
Yeah,
saving the earth by buying these um I don't know, reusable straws that
yeah,
I end up not
yeah,
using at all.
yeah. Or like even I don't know, like those guppy bags for the laundry machine. Like anything can be
Mhm.
turned into a quote unquote sustainable product, even though it may not be.
Yeah, like I mean it might help, but at the same time, like, is this really what you need in life right now? I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of these products end up just being a trend.
Mhm.
And that was also something that kind of stopped me from going fully into a sustainable lifestyle. I felt like I don't have the money for this. Like I couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Which is such a big misconception because in reality, like true sustainability is really just using whatever you have for the longest amount of time and also
Mhm.
repairing things that get
Mhm.
broken. And so you don't have to buy new things. Or
Mhm.
even when you are buying something, it doesn't always necessarily have to be from a quote unquote sustainable brand as long as it's, bought with intention, mindfulness, and something that's good
True.
quality that you know is gonna last you a long time and you're not gonna wanna throw away in, like, a couple months or a year from now.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I like to think into like, is this gonna spark joy in me? Because if it is,
yes.
then I'll use it more than like a couple times instead of just buying something off the trend, buying something because it was cute at first.
Yeah.
My reusable straws that I have no idea where are from.
Oh, no. Yeah. And I feel like for us too, with our friendship, Karen and I both, like, really help each other keep accountable. In terms of sustainability, not like pushing each other to be more sustainable, but more like telling each other, hey, it's okay if we mess up. It's okay to be imperfect. Like I
Mhm.
remember there'd be times where I would complain to Karen and be like, I really want to buy this, but it's not, quote unquote sustainable. And Karen says, like you just got to do what makes you happy sometimes. And that's not always necessarily a sustainable option.
Mhm.
And but no one's like perfect at being sustainable, and
It's
that's
never
okay.
perfect.
Hmm.
I would say those stuff to you, and the next time I would be like, "Oh my gosh, girl, I used so much plastic today."
Oh my god, same. Every time like I forget like my straw when we're at a boba store, or like I forget my reusable container for when I have to go food. I'm like, no.
No,
Or like
like,
your bags at the
conscious
grocery
voice in your
store.
head is like, "This is not
You're
sustainable. You're
like, I'm
not
a
helping the
terrible
earth."
person. But no, it's okay. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, and also, we shouldn't be guilt tripping ourselves too
Yeah,
much too.
yeah,
And, we'll have a whole episode more about
yeah,
sustainability from
yeah.
our more expert Jasmine and me,
How do
who's
you even
always struggling.
I try. I'm not perfect either, but I try. Um, Ali says, I'm falling in love with repairing my clothes with cute cross stitch patterns.
Ooh,
Ooh.
cross patterns.
Ali, you have to teach me. I don't know how to do
Stylish.
that. Yeah.
Those are really cute. I've seen, I think, pictures or videos of people doing that on their bed sheets too, and like
Yeah.
adding like hearts to
I love
it.
that. Ali, you have to teach me because I want to learn how to do cross stitch. I think it goes hand in hand with like embroidery, right? Like that's what my friend.
Yeah.
I really want to learn.
I used to hate doing those stuff. In the Philippines, we have a subject that's like homework.
Hmm.
I think that's what you guys
Home ec?
home ec, yeah, rec.
Like
Home.
homework, homework.
It felt like rec all when I was young.
Oh no! Like
But
homework.
yeah, we would do stuff like cross stitching, embroidery, yeah, those stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember doing it like, I don't want to do this.
Oh no! Oh my god! I wish I had like a class like that because I want to learn how to like get better at sewing. I mean, I can sew basic stuff,
Mhm.
but I want to learn how to make clothing eventually.
I feel like you'll make really cute
Thank
clothes.
you. I think so too. I used to, fun fact, I don't know if I told you this before, Karen, but when I was younger, I used to draw like designs on a notebook of like clothes.
Ooh,
And I would
fashion
share it.
designer?
Yeah, I used to think I want to be a fashion designer when I was younger. And I would have friends on the bus tell me, like, I'm going to buy from your store in the future. And I was like,
Oh,
thank you.
customers ready?
I know.
She was
Oh,
already business savvy when you were young.
honestly, and I still have the notebook with my drawings. I even drew out like what I wanted my wedding dress to look like
Mhm.
when I was
Aw.
younger. Yeah, I mean, Vlad and I basically eloped, so I never got to use a wedding dress, but who knows? Maybe like our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah,
Vlad,
yeah.
mm,
You can
mm,
design
mm.
it, and then maybe by then you'll be making it yourself too.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. We'll see. Fingers
Mhm.
crossed. We're gonna put it into the universe.
So
Stop. Blow it off the shoulders.
I don't even know what that means.
Me either. I was just following you, Karen.
But yeah.
Well,
But I think like even right now, you're still in your fashion era too. Like even though you didn't really become a fashion designer, what you do right now is still heavily related to fashion, right?
yeah, definitely. I think as a sustainable personal wardrobe stylist, I'm not necessarily making the clothes right now because I'm hoping in the future I will. And I do
Mhm.
want to have like my own boutique in the future. But I'm still putting together looks for people. It's just I'm using looks that, have already been made, like pieces already been made, but still
Yeah.
making them pretty on people.
Also, check out her YouTube channel. She has that video of her. I know where you were working on some of the clothes that you didn't really want anymore.
Oh, are you talking about the upcycling one? Is that
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I can mix basic things. So I made a top. I made like a crop top. And then are you talking about the one where I upcycled a dress?
I like that one. That was my
Thank
favorite one. It looked really pretty at
you.
the end.
Thank you. Yeah, there was this dress that one of my old friends gave me, and I I really liked it, but it just like the neckline just wasn't
Mhm.
me because it was a halter neck and those don't look good on me.
Mhm.
So I was trying to figure out how to make it into something more wearable because I felt bad just like getting rid of it, especially
Because
because
it was a pretty dress. It was
yeah,
floral.
it's like Vlad's favorite dress that I have, to
Oh.
be honest. So he was like, "Don't get rid of it." And also, my friend gifted it to me, so I felt so bad,
Mhm.
like if I were to get rid of it. So I was like, "Well, what can I do?" And then I came up with what I came up with.
It
So yeah,
was like, you made kind of more of a
like a square neckline
yeah.
with spaghetti straps, like a bow tie.
Yes. Because I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, that looks really pretty." Like, while I was watching that, like, I want to learn sewing too. I wanna do this
Mhm.
to my stuff because I have so many dresses and clothes that while I like the, like, fabric
Mhm.
and the design, when I
Uh-huh.
wear it, it just kind of feels awkward, and I know, like, I can do some snip snip, maybe do some extra measuring.
Do it. I feel like sometimes even when you're upcycling clothes, like, you could easily just cut stuff off to crop
Mhm.
it, which I feel like definitely suits, like, both of our body types to, like, crop stuff, you know?
Yeah, because 'cause we're shorties.
Yeah, because 'cause we're petite. Like, I feel like, for me, especially because I have, like, a smaller waistline and, like, bigger
Mhm.
hips, if something's not cropped, I look like a box, and it's bad. Yeah.
I can relate to that. That's happened a lot of times to me too.
Yeah. Learning your body type.
Learning my body type.
Yeah. Well, in terms of, like, our friendship, I will say, like wait, so I don't know, but is there anything more that we have to say, Karen, about where we are now in our friendship?
Yeah, I think that's mostly it.
Mhm,
We did kind of both get into sustainability
mhm,
almost at the same time, and then now we're also getting into our YouTube and
mhm,
content creation era at the same
mhm,
time too. So, and we talked about this before. So we're not always in contact. Like life gets busy, especially that we're living in different states. But every time we call each other,
mhm.
and like sometimes it might be like twice a year, it's like a
Yeah,
whole hour or hours of phone
yeah.
call, just catching up. And then
Mhm.
that's when we always realize like, oh girl, you're doing the same stuff as me right
I
now.
know. We're always kinda, like, in a similar place in life, even if it's
Hmm.
not, like, exactly the same things, just where we are spiritually, mentally, and our growth and reflections are always kind of aligned.
Yeah. And that's why we also wanted to start podcasting because
Mhm.
so our calls always end up being hours long, and we'll try not to do that in our podcast. But we just talk about so many things, right?
Yeah, anything that pops up, or we just laugh.
Yeah. It's like 50% laughing and 50% like going deep with our emotions and what we're going through right now.
No, literally, yeah, Vlad is like he's always like, "Why are you just, like, laughing all the time?" And I'm like, "'Cause why
Just
not?"
funny.
'Cause yeah, 'cause we're funny, duh.
Yes.
Duh.
It's so funny.
Vlad, so do you guys have any sustainability or not heroes
Or
or
role
role
models?
models?
It's a good question, actually.
Karen, do you have any?
I don't really think I have. Okay, wait, actually. I think in the beginning I was trying to find a role model and I kind of ended up just looking up a bunch of like sustainable influencers, content creators, which are good in their own way, but I couldn't I couldn't really relate to them that much. And that's how the whole trying to buy everything started for me until I stopped doing that and I realized that, growing up, my mom was pretty sustainable and mindful in her own ways too. Like being Asian, Filipino. I know earlier I said like we have those kind of bad tendencies of hoarding, but at the same time, that is also very sustainable in its own way. Just the
Yeah.
idea of reusing things, keeping them, and yeah. So I guess my role model now would be all the Asian mommies, my mom
Aw.
especially.
Here.
Yes.
That's so sweet.
Oh, don't cry right now, Jasmine.
I won't cry. It's okay. It's okay.
What about you, Jasmine? Do you have any role models?
I feel like mine's not I'm like, how do I follow up with that? That's so
No.
Well, for me, like you, I really got influenced by like the sustainable influencers on Instagram. And like you said,
Mhm.
it's not always relatable because no one's expected to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, the influencers on Instagram are the ones who really opened my eyes to the possibility of even trying to be more sustainable.
Mhm.
Because
That's
back then,
true.
yeah, because back then, like in college, I remember I took a social studies class and they were kind of showing us what fast fashion was about. And when we asked the teacher, like, oh, is there anything we can do to combat this? Our teacher literally
Mhm.
said, like, no, there's nothing we can do to help you with
It's
that
the end.
cycle. And I was like, oh, okay. And
What?
so I felt, yeah, that's literally what she said. And she was like a great teacher. I really did like her, but I felt like kind of hopeless and sad about that.
Oh
And it
my
wasn't,
gosh.
yeah, no, really. And then so afterwards, um, when I found this, there were two influencers that really got me into more into realizing that I can actually take actionable
Mhm.
steps towards being a more sustainable person, and that was going zero waste on Instagram. She also has
Mhm.
a YouTube channel and a blog, and it was Cookie Cat Heron. So
Oh,
those
yeah, I
two,
follow her too. I love her
yeah,
content.
yeah, and so those 2 were especially, like, well, yeah, but just both of them, they were the ones who inspired me to really try to take actionable t steps towards it,
Mhm.
and then after that, I kinda just, did my own thing, and there's another one, I don't remember her name, to be honest, but there's another one that I follow, and I like her because she really shows
Mhm.
that it's okay to be imperfect when you're trying to be sustainable. Like,
Yeah.
she actually shows, when she messes up, when she forgets to bring her, reusable containers or straws, or when people say no and things like that. And it's okay to not be perfect at being sustainable. So I really like her
Yeah.
content. I really don't remember what her Instagram handle is called, but
Shout
yeah.
out to her. I do love that now, especially on Instagram, you see a lot more of like diverse people too in the sustainability
Yes.
field, and a lot more people are showing up and just being real. Like they're not sustainable most of the time either.
Which is okay. It's totally
Mhm.
okay. I remember her name now. I think it's called like Sustainable Valerie. I think that's,
Okay.
I know her
Shout
name
out
is
to
Valerie.
Sustainable Valerie.
Yes. Shout out to her. Love her. But yeah, I think I really thought it was interesting too when the topic of intersectional environmentalism started to
Mhm.
sprout up, and just seeing all the different issues that align with sustainability as well, because
Mhm.
there's so much more to the topic than, like you
Yeah.
said, trying to just buy all of the latest sustainable, eco-friendly products that are cute, which is not necessarily feasible or accessible to everyone
Mhm.
in that community.
Yeah, sometimes we're broke,
Yes,
and that's okay too.
I'm still broke.
And sometimes you just wanna buy something really cute from fast fashion,
Yeah, I
and
get
that
that.
happens.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can't find things that you want in a sustainable format.
Yeah.
And, like, for me recently, I told you that I bought, like, my Steve Madden loafers.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
tried
Those are really
really
cute.
Thank you. I tried really hard to find them secondhand first, and because I bought one secondhand before and they broke because
Oh,
they
oh
were, like,
no.
not real leather and they weren't good
Mm,
quality, so the chain kept breaking, and I actually brought it to a shoe repair, and the
mhm.
person told me it's not good enough quality and it was just gonna cost too much for me to keep repairing it over and
You
over
could have
again.
just bought a new one at that point.
Exactly, and I tried, and I even like the Alohas, which I really liked, like, those just didn't
Oh,
fit
I love
me.
Aloha's.
I love the brand, but the loafers from there I wanted, they didn't fit me, like, Vlad saw.
Yeah, you were having so much issues too. Like it is really hard to buy
Yeah,
secondhand, especially if you
yeah,
don't know the brand that much
exactly, if
and
it's
like your
gonna fit you.
sizing.
Yeah, how long were you looking for these loafers? Like 2 years?
Yeah, I remember.
Literally.
I remember you were like telling me how much you wanted those shoes because I also wanted the same thing too.
Yeah! No, but the Steve Madden ones, I just pulled the trigger because it's even just finding ones that I like the way it looks. Because 'cause I'm so
Mhm.
particular with fashion about, what I like, and recently I've been a lot more intentional because I don't wanna just throw it out if I'm not
Mhm.
gonna use it again, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
not and, it's gonna go out of style or something. I really don't think about trends, I just think about, "Is this something I know I'm gonna wear in 5 years?" And
Mhm.
so, I'm very picky with what I choose to buy. Thank you so much, Vicky. Oh my god,
Hi,
Vicky just
Vicky.
went! Thank you. Um, but yeah, like when it comes to that, I was like, I'm just pull the trigger. I was like, I love these
Mhm.
shoes. They're real leather, which I know there's like a whole debate on if you should buy real leather or not with sustainability. That's like a whole other topic for later.
Mhm.
I personally choose real leather just because I feel like faux leather just gets damaged super easily, and then you end up in the cycle of where you're throwing it out all the time. And so I like to use real leather because, once again, for me
It'll last longer
personally,
for you
yeah,
too.
sustainability, it's about making things last longer. So I bought these Steve Madden ones, and although they're not made, they're not necessarily a sustainable brand, it was the first time I ever got a pair of loafers that fit my foot properly, didn't hurt
It finally fit.
right? And then also like was made of real leather that I knew was going to last me, and that was the most important thing. So
Yeah, I remember you texting me that too and showing me. You're like, "Oh, I did it. I had to buy from fast fashion." And I was like, "Yeah, I used to be really guilty too whenever I would cut back from bikes. I mostly buy secondhand. I thrift a
yeah,
lot,
yeah,
but every now and then I do buy from fast fashion, like Uniqlo. I had
yeah.
to buy a bunch of heat tech stuff because the Midwest is hella cold, everybody, and I don't have that much clothes.
They
But
have good quality stuff.
yeah, and I remember going there with Nathan, like, I'm not going to feel guilty
Yeah,
because I know I'm going to use this, and I have
yeah,
been, and like up till now too, I use all of those clothes I bought from them.
yeah. She's still a susty queen.
Yes.
She has
So
the
I actually don't like to call myself sustainable anymore. That's why I like calling it more mindful,
yeah,
because at least like I'm being more intentional, right? With
yeah.
all of my purchases.
Yeah, I like that word a lot. I've been hearing it recently, the word intentional.
Hmm.
And I think that's really what matters because I feel like sustainability and that word just keeps getting thrown around. And sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't even really mean what it's supposed to mean anymore, especially with greenwashing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Looking at you guys. Fast fashion.
Fast fashion. As we were just saying that it's okay sometimes.
I know, but I still really, uh, all of these greenwashing though, it's so bad.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. That's gonna be like a whole other episode, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to everyone who joined us.
Yes,
I
thanks for
see a few more
tuning
people.
in. But yeah, I think we that's pretty much is that everything, Karen?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. We just talked about how we met. Anime Expo. Really
Yes,
fun.
and
Oh,
we
are
never
you still in touch with the others there? I feel like I also wasn't really expecting to make a lot of friends from that event because I just
thank
wanted to go
you.
to the event, and then I ended up having a close friend for 5 years. That's crazy.
I know. Well, for Anime Expo, I really don't think I keep in touch with anyone else. You were the main person that I clicked with, and I mean everyone there was super nice, but I just don't think I clicked with them like I clicked with you. I
Hmm.
know that I had some friends from like like in my college that went there, but I just don't
Oh, they did?
yeah, like it was like all of the almost like half of my club from Triple K when I was in
Oh,
college was in Anime Expo. That's how I even like got to going there was because of them.
oh, I didn't know
But
that.
I just don't really keep in touch with a lot of people from there anymore.
Hmm.
So I mean, yeah, it's
It
just
really is hard. It's hard to maintain a lot of friendships, especially ones from college and like earlier.
and you can
So
outgrow them sometimes.
yeah, I really appreciate whenever we try to call each other up, even though we're so busy.
Yeah. No, I agree because I feel like especially now, like with our podcast, I feel like this is now kind of
Hmm.
our time to like catch up with each other
Yeah.
and just discover, learn new things about ourselves and really just keep our friendship going, which I think I think for some people it may seem like a job doing this, but for me,
Hmm.
I just feel like it's our time to catch up and it's really easy doing it with you, Karen, because yeah, I feel like we just click so well. Yes, look at her.
Yeah, if you guys have any long distance friendships and you guys want to try doing this, start up a podcast with them.
Yes, that's her advice product podcast. But
Utilize your time.
no, really though. And speaking of long distance friendships, that is going to be the topic of our next podcast/live stream episode. So stay tuned next week. We're going to be doing it on Karen's channel. And yeah, stay tuned for that. So, Karen, where can you find us?
You can find us both on YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest. I think that's mostly it. So I am Days of Renka on YouTube and Instagram, and Jasmine is.
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest at Sweet Son of Jasmine, or my website, sweetsonofjasmine.com. And you can also find me on LinkedIn if you're on there under
Ooh,
Jasmine,
professional.
Jasmine Levine, all my corporate professional.
Okay, she's doing it, guys.
We doing it. Yes.
But yeah, thank you everyone for coming into on our first episode.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in to our episode. We really appreciate all the support. You did it.
So we will be posting this on our channels too after this, so you can watch the replay or not. I mean,
Yes, definitely. If you want to re-listen to it in podcast form and watch us talk about our friendship all over again, you can do that too.
Okay. Thanks everyone. We'll see you next time.
Yes,
Bye.
bye.